Meet Michael Chan, who is a struggling business owner only making $8,000 per month. He's struggling with not having enough time to market his business because he's too busy fulfilling in his business to go out and be creative and market. Michael reached out to me to get brutal, no-nonsense advice on how to make more money. My name is Dan Henry, and I've created multiple multi-million-dollar businesses, and I'm on a mission to save small businesses one up business at a time. In the next few minutes, you'll see exactly how I solved Michael's problem. And if you want to apply for a free business audit yourself, click the link in the description. Let's get to the video.
My name is Michael. I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I'm here to absolutely get my business roasted.
All right, Michael, tell me, what do you sell and how much money are you making with it?
Right. Currently, I teach mathematics to high school students in years 10, 11, and 12. And on average a month, I'm making $8,000.
$8,000. Wow. Okay. So you're not a total mess. Let me understand. You're like a private tutor? Like you teach math to kids online?
Yeah, so we do in-person tutoring, so it's not online at all.
Oh, you do in person. I'm going to do everything in my power not to make the obvious racist joke here, but because it's just there, man. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's there and it's a thing, and I'm just not going to say it, but it's calling to me and I'm resisting it.
Let's see how long you can hold it out for.
Yeah, I'm going to try. These are like at least 30 minutes long, so I'm going to do my best. All right, real quick, in 30 seconds or less, I want to hear your pitch. Pitch me your offer. I imagine you sell to the parents, because what kid is going to give you money? So I'm a parent. I got a kid. Pitch me.
Absolutely. As a parent, one of the biggest worries that you're going to have is not knowing how to help your child, even though you have their education in mind, especially in years 11 and 12. For the HSC, there is just a lot of mechanics going on, and we are specialists in mathematics especially, and we will provide all of the resources and structure to help your child systematically improve and get better results in math than they have ever been in the past. And what's different about us is normal coaching colleges, you're going to expect to have around 20 to 30 students in a classroom, which means that most of the kids don't get the personalized attention that they need. But if you go to the other end of the spectrum and it's a private one-on-one session, a lot of the times the tutors are flaky. They don't have a system or resources. And we're the perfect hybrid in between with small group classes that are in-person, face-to-face.
It's not the worst pitch I've ever heard, but it's nothing that I'm going to write home about and be like, Mom, I heard this amazing pitch today. You got to hear it. Like, okay, so I'll give you that. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Mainly because what I did not hear in there was reminding your audience of the pain and suffering that will occur if they don't fix the problem. And I really didn't hear you articulate the problem as good as you could have. So we're going to fix that. I'm going to give you a better pitch at the end of this session. All right. But right here, I got your bank account. All right. Now, this is from Australia, so that's why it looks all weird to me anyway. But I need to understand here, is this a personal bank account or a business bank account?
This is a joint personal bank account with my business partner, but we don't process any money through like Stripe or anything. It's all direct bank transfers for payments.
Why don't you have a business bank account for a business?
I don't know. Never got around to setting it up since the beginning.
So you took the time to create a personal bank account, a joint account for you and your business partner, but you didn't make a business account.
Yep.
Why?
I honestly can't remember, but I didn't know what was the benefit of a business bank account at the time, or it might have been extra hard too with all of the authentication they needed. So we just went with the easiest route at the time.
Well, I don't know how that works in Australia, but here that would not be a good thing. Maybe they don't care in Australia, but here you need to have a freaking business bank account if you have a business. Okay, if it's business, business bank account. All right, come on. I've said this so many times. I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. All right, let's see here. What's Clo Fung?
Oh, that's like the name of a student paying money for tutoring.
Ah, so these are people paying you money. Okay.
Yes. So all the credit side is just people paying us money for tutoring.
Why don't you pass this up to Chains for me? See, the bank statements we have in America, they're very clear. Incoming, outgoing. The stuff you have in Australia is a mess. Like, it looks like somebody was wearing one of them COVID masks on top of their face when they, like, designed it. Okay, which I would not doubt being Australia. This is a mess, man. I don't like the lines are all jacked up. So are you mixing personal with business transactions?
No, this is a separate account for just a business.
So you took all the time to do that, but didn't make it a business account. Okay. All right. So you're making $8,000 a month.
Yes.
What is your biggest, what do you want to make?
I haven't thought about the monetary value of how much I want to make. Normally I focus on the number of students that I want to have enrolled.
Well, okay. All right. I'll play your little game. How much do you charge?
I charge revenue is $1,000 per term.
What's a term?
Term is like 12 weeks.
So 3 months. So
Yep.
you charge $333 a month.
Yeah, basically.
How many students do you want?
Right now, the goal is to get to 100.
100.
Yeah.
So let's do some math here. 333 times 100 is $33,000 a month. So you want to make $33,000 a month. Is that right?
Yes, in the short term. Yes.
By the way, this is called math. Okay.
Yes.
I know you know what that is. It's called math. All right.
Yes.
All right. So how many students do you have right now?
I've got 39.
39. You want to get to 100. So you're at $8,000 a month. You want to get to $33,000 a month. What's your long-term goal?
So I'm 24 years old right now. Long-term goal is to create a roughly $5 million valuation tutoring business by the time I am 30. So I'm committing myself to around 6 years to this journey. Well, I've already done one.
$5 million valuation?
Yes.
So what EBITDA do you need to be like what?
Well, I think the multiplier would be conservatively 2 to 3. So I'll need around $1 million EBITDA, a bit more than that minimum.
Okay, so then that means you need to make around 83 grand a month. Have you ever thought about that?
I think I calculated it before, and I'm going to need like 600 to 700 students or something like that.
Well, let's see. $83,000 a month divided by 333. You need 249 students.
Oh.
That's called math.
Yes,
Math
I know.
tutor.
I need to run the numbers in my sheet.
You are a math tutor. This is embarrassing. Bro, we're not even to business yet. You can't even do basic addition and subtraction and multiplication. What the is going on here? I'm a math tutor. I don't know how many customers I need because I don't know math. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, okay. You know what? Yeah, it is 240 students. Never mind.
Bro, it is 249 students, okay?
Yeah.
Something. So 249 students and one midget, okay?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what to say here. I'm dreading getting to the part where we talk about business because we're just trying to figure out how much money you want to make, and that's quite a mountain to climb. Okay, so you're at 39 students. You want to get to 250. You're at $8,000 a month. You want basically we're talking about 10xing your business.
Yeah.
What is your biggest problem why you're making $8,000 a month rather than 80?
Right now, as a founder, I would say 80% of my time is dedicated to writing the academic material that we use for the classes. So that's like a really time-consuming activity for me.
Whoa, stop. This isn't something you've already written, you just rinse and repeat?
Well, I've only started a business 12 months ago, and there's like a lot of content I need to write for the different grades. So I'm like still writing it.
You have 39 students. What content are they going through?
So for example, let's say a whole year's worth of content, I might have written 6 months out of the 12. So they're going through that. And as they're going through that, I'm writing the other half of the course. So they are using the content that I've written. I'm writing ahead of time, but I haven't written the entire course yet.
Do you have to write another 6 months of content? Like, do they have to learn something new each week?
Like every week, they're going to get a brand new theory booklet with homework and exams. So like I'm constantly producing this academic material. But like you said, once it's done, I can reuse it again and again for future years. It's just the initial upfront time that I need to actually write all the materials.
So how much do you need to write? 12 months?
Yeah.
So what happens after 12 months?
Of like writing this content, then I'm like...
No, of them being a customer.
Oh, the longest lifetime they can be with us is 24 months or a bit less because they start at the beginning of year 11. They go through year 11 and then year 12, they go through year 12 and then they graduate and sit their exams.
Okay. And there's nothing you can help them with after that?
No, after that, they go into university. So we only do high school tutoring for years 11 and 12 or 10, 11 and 12.
Okay. I want to buy your business. Oh, it's worth $5 million? Wait a minute. You intentionally stop selling to your customers after 24 months? That's not good.
Yeah. So what the plan is to, in the long run, is actually extend the offering to year 7 to 12. That way, the lifetime value is like 6 years if it's a year 7 student who joins us for mathematics. and then they go from year 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 to 11 to 12.
Right.
That's
So,
very
okay,
common.
okay, got it. So, so what you're saying is it's time consuming creating the content that you sell, the premium content. Okay. Do you have a problem getting customers?
Yes, so that's part of it now. So because I spend so much of my time writing content, I don't have enough capacity to do a lot of marketing. And so I do some paid advertising. It hasn't been super effective.
Well, how'd you get 39 clients?
Basically, a majority of the 39 is using one technique only. What I did is I would say, come to our center and I'll teach you this topic for free. And so I'll get all these students that sign up, maybe 30, 40 that sign up. I'll then teach multiple sessions for free. Once they experience the teaching, they look at the resources, then I convert them off the back of that into paid customers.
You get them to come to your physical location, local. You teach them some stuff and then you pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. It sounds like a webinar.
Yeah, except in person, but yes.
And so it works well.
Yes.
And how come you haven't done it more?
Because generally I only do it like once a term based on what topics they're learning at school.
Don't they learn the same shit every year?
Like, yeah, it is. I can repeat the events every year.
Why can't you do them more often than once per term?
Because normally I need around a 3-4 week marketing lead time. So I need to put the ad up there for 3 to 4 weeks to get enough people to actually enroll for it. Then I deliver that webinar, then I close them. So that maybe I can do twice a term.
Have you thought about doing a, wait a minute, wait for it, a webinar and selling them on the internet?
Okay. So that would mean teaching them online, like getting them onto a Zoom call?
Yeah, Zoom. There's this amazing thing called Zoom. You could do the same thing and do it on Zoom and then pitch and send them to an order page. You know, I tried that one time and I made $30 million. It's
Really?
fucking amazing.
Okay.
You should try it.
The bias I had was if the students were there in person and they traveled to the physical space, which is where ultimately they'll get the physical tutoring, it was going to like help them build familiarity with the space and everything.
Yeah. If I pitch in person, I will convert higher, but I still convert just fine on the internet, and I can do the internet easier and more often. So I pitch a lot on the internet.
Okay.
Bro,
That's
come on,
fair
man. You're supposed to be smart. Damn it.
Fair play.
Listen, dude, come on. You got to know this, okay? Have you tried it?
No.
Do you think that if you did it in a webinar format, you sign people up online and they could attend virtually, you know, because we have that now, the internet. Do you think that you would have the opportunity, you'd have more time to market because that would be like a lot less work to do it online versus in person? Would you say that?
Yeah, true.
How many people come to your live seminar on average?
So we do not accept more than 12 students per seminar. We limit the space. And then we'll run multiples, like maybe.
Do you hate money?
No, the reason is the whole idea is that if there's only 12, then we can be really intimate with them, like knowing them and actually interacting with them, and therefore like have a higher close rate at the end.
What's your close rate?
If I get 30 people that attend overall, we might get like
12.
As in like over multiple sessions. Like
if 12 people come to a session, how many people buy?
2.
Well, that's f***ing terrible already. What do you mean? You're converting 2 out of 12 at a live event?
Okay.
What percentage is that? What percentage conversion rate is that?
1/6, that's like 16%-ish.
16% at a live event is terrible. It means you suck at pitching.
Oh, okay.
That's bad, bro. 16% would be considered decent for like a webinar.
Right, okay.
But in person? In physical? Trash! So you're spending all your time building out content. You're doing these live events, which are getting you customers, but they're not converting great. You haven't tried going online and doing it. So maybe you got 1 out of, well, let me ask you this. Let's just say your conversion rate got cut in half and you made 1 sale instead of 2 out of 12. Let's say 8%. Let's cut it in half. Is it reasonable to assume that your online conversion rate would be half of your in-person?
Yeah, fair enough.
How easy is it to get 100 people to a webinar versus 12 people to a physical in-person location? Probably a lot easier, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's 8% of 100?
8 people.
What's 16% of 12?
The 2.
What is more, 8 or 2?
8.
So with a half the conversion rate, you're still signing up 8 people rather than 2.
Okay, yeah, okay, I hear you.
Would you make more money if you had 8 people instead of 2?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it less work to do a webinar than it is a physical live in-person friggin' gig?
Yeah, for sure.
Would you have more time to promote it if you just did it online?
Yep, I would.
Okay.
Okay, unlocked.
Are you getting my point?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Use the internet to market your business. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, fair play.
All right. Why do you want to make money with this thing? What's the why?
Okay, the easiest reason straight away is I've humble background. I've always lived in a unit. For my parents, I want to buy them a house. Basically, like they want a piece of land, a house, the classical thing. The second thing is I just enjoy the game of business, honestly. And to me, getting to a certain valuation or a certain metric is just to show that I have learned enough along the way as an entrepreneur to be able to get there, and then I can share it with others. Like that's it. I don't really have material goals myself for what I want to buy or something like that.
So you just want to do right by your family.
That would be on a monetary level for them, yes, 100%. And then on a selfish level, it's like I just want to build a big business because that proves to myself that I have the capability to learn and build a big business. The reality is, honestly, 90% of my time I am like head in a gutter trying to write all the material to keep the business afloat. Like I just not thinking about all of these numbers and how to growth hack and whatnot.
Can you do your tutoring online?
Technically, I can, yes, but I wouldn't. Right now, I've decided not to.
Why?
Then I'll have to find a group of students who all want just online tutoring for this to be profitable. Like if I just do it on a one-on-one basis, it's not going to be worth my while.
Do you have to do it one-on-one? Why can't you do it in a group?
Like I could, I just need to find enough students who all want online for the same course so I can group them together.
Why can't you just tutor them in person and then also stream it?
In theory, I could, yes.
Is it just you?
I've got like 2 other tutors that help out.
How much do you pay them?
It ranges from $40 to $70 an hour.
Do you make a large profit off of the kids?
Only if it's a sizable class. Like if it's a small group of 3 kids and I'm paying a tutor to teach it, no, I don't.
Do you tutor yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Because it's like cheaper, I guess, in a way.
Not if it's costing you your ability to get more customers.
Okay,
Math,
stages right
math,
now.
math.
Because a lot of them have come to me at the beginning. So if I just replace myself with another tutor, they're probably going to leave because of just the change. Like if I put them with a new tutor from the get-go, then they'll be fine.
Bro, you're the business owner. You want this to be a $5 million valuation. Nobody's going to buy your company if you're the product.
Oh, of course. Like long-term, I'm not going to be the product. It's just at this starting stage, I have to be.
Why can't you just sell this thing and hire tutors? Arbitrage, man. Like you're thinking like an employee who owns a business. You need to think like an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur would hire tutors, focus on getting more clients, and make sure there was a massive margin there, a massive profit there from what they pay the tutors to what they're making off of the students. And then they would focus all their energy on getting more students.
Right, okay. Yeah. I hear you.
Also, why do you have to create the content?
It's expensive to hire someone on an hourly basis because it's such a high volume of hours type of work. Like it's not hard work for most of it, but you just got to sit there for hours and hours and it's going to cost a lot.
Can you afford it right now?
If I'm willing to basically be break even, just maybe I might just be able to afford it. Yes.
How long would you be break even if you did that?
Well, until I get additional students.
But let's just say you were break even. How long would you have to be break even where all that content would get done not by you?
Oh man, minimum 6 months.
If you didn't get one extra student, just with the money you're making, you hire somebody to do this, you're break even for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
If you were break even for 6 months, would you starve to death?
No.
If during that 6 months, someone else was writing all the content, what would you be doing?
Marketing and growing the business and
getting more customers, right? Which would mean that 6 months would do what? It would go probably down to at minimum be cut in half to 3. Is that reasonable? Maybe even less.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Do you think it's worth it to be break even for 2 or 3 months to ensure that you can focus all your energy on getting more customers and not have to do any of this stuff yourself?
Yeah, that would be a smart idea. Yeah.
Would that be smarter than the current way you're doing it?
Yeah, it would. I would say the mental block that I've had is it's like I've worked with people who wrote materials for me and I always found it hard to be able to get the quality that I'm looking for and nurture them, but that's a skill gap. And I just need to be able to learn how to train someone or recruit the right person. So if I can solve that.
Recruit the right person. Do you know anybody who's as smart or smarter than you at creating this content?
I know potential people who I might like test. Like I might get them to write a small snippet to see if they are qualified to, yes.
Have you put any energy into that at all?
No, no.
You have to remove the bottleneck. Right now, you are the bottleneck in everything. You're the one that has to produce the product. You're the one that has to market the product. And you're the one that has to deliver the product. You can't grow a business being the creator, the deliverer, and the marketer. You just can't do it. It's not possible. I understand you might not like the idea of being broke for a few months, but you're going to be mediocre for the rest of your career if you're not willing to be broke for a few months to get done what needs to get done.
I hear you.
What is the biggest reason a student would want to get better at maths?
I mean, the immediate benefit is just to get better exam results at school. Then you might ask, why do they want better exam results? Because ultimately it contributes to something called the 𝐴𝑇𝑟, which is just a number that admits them into university degrees.
So they want to get in university.
Ultimately, yes.
So by not being good at maths, they could not get into university.
Not the degree that they want to.
What bad thing would happen because of that?
Well, if they don't get into the university or the course that they want, then they might have to opt for a career or like a different degree that they're not interested in, or they might have to lose 2 years to take a longer route back into the degree that they want.
Are you a student who is struggling with math and you're worried that if you don't get better grades, you're not going to get into the university that you want to get to? And what does that mean? Look, let's face facts. In your life, the majority of your life is your career. You have a little bit of time at the beginning when you're a kid, and that's a great time. You have a little bit of time at the end when you're retired, and that's a good time. But the majority of your life is what you do for a living. And if you do not get the career you want, that means you're going to spend the majority of your life doing something that you don't want to do, being unhappy, being unfulfilled. Now, the choices that you make in the next few weeks could determine your entire future for the majority of your life. And if you're struggling to get better math scores, then correcting that and acing your whatever test is key to determining how happy and fulfilled and successful you will be for the remainder of your life on this earth. And that is why it's so important that you fix this now. And believe me, it can be fixed. My name is Michael Chan, and I specialize in helping people who struggle with their math, who are worried about getting into the university they want to, who are worried about what their life will look like if they don't get into the right university, they don't get the right career. Absolutely smash their math tests. Absolutely not just get better at it, not just remove the struggle, but absolutely dominate your tests so that you can get into the university that you want, so that you can get the job that you want, so that you can have the life that you want, and you can find the happiness that so few on this planet ever find. But if you can crush those math tests, that can be the spark that lights the fire to making you that 1% of people that has an amazing life. And so what I'd like to do is invite you to whatever your call to action is, right? To take this free whatever, right? Fill out the form, take some free tests or take some free tutoring and see how this works for you, okay? You get them on the thing, give them the tutoring, and it's like, listen, guys, did this help you today? Everybody says yes. Do you think if you had more access to this, you would have a much higher chance of acing your math test? Yes? Yes. Do you think that if you ace your math test, you'll get into a better university? Yes? Everybody says yes. And then you say, and do you think if you got into a better university, you would have a better chance of getting the career you want and living the life you want? Yes? Yes. So let me ask you a question. How many times in your entire life have you asked your parents for something? Maybe it's anything from a candy bar to a new car to a trip to Disneyland. How many times have you asked that? A lot, right? Well, how many times has that ask determined the very future of your life? How many times has that ask been the thing that will make you an unhappy person or a happy person? That ask hinges on everything that your life will become. This is the most important ask that you can make to determine how happy you are. So when you go home today and you talk to your parents about university that you want to get in, the life you want to live, and what's holding you back, have a chat with them about this program. And if you truly feel that this is the key, and you can talk to them and you can make an ask and tell them, hey, this is what I want my future to be. This is holding me back, and I believe this will remove that roadblock. We will be happy to talk to them, explain to them how the program works, and see what we can do to get you in so that you can pass your math, so that you can have the life that you want to have. Who here is going to ask your parents, who's going to have the talk tonight, right? Something like that. Do you pitch like that after the tutoring?
No.
That's why you're closing 2 out of 12.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you, yeah.
Listen to me. Nobody cares about passing math. They don't even care about university. They care about living a happy life and having a great career. It just so happens that getting into the right university is how they get that. And it just so happens that passing their math scores is how they get into the university. So you got to skip to the end. You skip to the end, you talk to them about that, and then you work your way backwards. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take my advice, and I want you to email me back in the next 30 days, and I want to hear that you either have or have put effort into finding someone to replace you, to remove you from the bottleneck, because, dude, you're not a bad marketer. You're not. Like, you're pretty good. I'm not putting you on the wall with Frank Kern and Russell Brunson and Gary Vee. I'm not doing that. Heck, maybe I won't even be on that wall. But it's good enough to build a business.
Okay, for sure.
Which is way better than most people. Whether you cultivated this or this was a gift given to you, this is a gift you have. You can articulate yourself. You're actually tapping in. You know, you can be better, but you're doing a good job. Like this is a gift you've been given that you can cultivate and become really good at. But you're not doing it because you're doing something else.
Yeah.
That someone else could be doing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just out of curiosity, what was the reason you decided to come on this show?
Well, first of all, I watched all of the ones that you've posted previously, and I found it so useful and beneficial. And I didn't even know how to get onto the show until I saw an ad on YouTube, and I just applied for it because I just knew that this time with you is going to be so valuable to learn. Because I don't have a lot of mentors in my life. So a lot of the things I just have to figure out on my own, watch YouTube videos here and there. And so I knew just a short 30-minute conversation with someone of your caliber will just shift my mindset. And that's really all I need to catapult myself in the right trajectory again.
Well, man, I appreciate you having the balls to come on here. I do.
Thank you, man.